Okay, well, I think we'll get started. There may be some people who join us a little later, and I'm just going to check to make sure I've got everybody muted, and we are recording for those who couldn't join us live today. And I just want to welcome everybody and thank you for joining me this morning for this class on spiritual healing and what our problems are here to teach us. Some of you I know, some of you I don't know, so I'll tell you just a minute or two about myself. I am a therapist in private practice, and I have had extensive training in energy work and spiritual healing, and in particular, Sufi spiritual healing. And I'm very excited to share with you some of the things I've learned, and they can be used in whole, in part, with other systems. So just feel free to take the parts that appeal to you and let go of anything that doesn't. And I'm just excited to be here with you this morning. So I'm going to keep you on mute for a little while I talk. Then I'm going to lead you in a practice. And after the practice, I will unmute people so we can dialogue and talk and hear what's going on. So I just kind of wanted to give you a little bit of the format so you'll know what we're doing. Okay, so one of the things I wanted to say right off the bat is about language. So I will use the word God, source, oneness, the mystery, Allah, all kind of interchangeably. So there's no dogma about this. So if that word doesn't work for you, please feel free to substitute your own and just retranslate. The experience of God or source energy is really beyond words, beyond the mind, beyond what's graspable. And hopefully today, I'm going to provide you with some direct experiences that each of you will have that will be different for each of us, depending on our level of development and how we're being worked with. And then you can respond a little bit out of that place. So I wanted to read a quote to start with. This is from Esther Hicks. And it says, "My most important relationship is with my source. There is no relationship of greater importance to achieve than the relationship between you in your physical body right here, right now, and the soul source God from which you have come. If you tend to that relationship first and foremost, you will then and only then have a stable footing to proceed into other relationships. Your relationship with your own body, your relationship with money, your relationship with parents, children, grandchildren, the people you work with, your world, will all fall swiftly and easily into alignment once you tend to this fundamental primary relationship first." So this is a little bit of my introduction into why spiritual healing. There's so many different healing modalities out there today, and I've been trained in many of them. And I have found this particular Sufi spiritual healing the most transformational, deepest, clearest, cleanest way of doing healing. And this spiritual healing heals the mind, the spirit, the heart, old wounds, misconceptions, blocks, resistances, anything that may be in the way of experiencing the real, experiencing source energy, experiencing God. Okay, excuse me for 1 minute. Am I still on with people? I'm going to unmute Megan.
Yep.
Oh, okay, good. My computer screen went kind of funny here, so I'm just looking to see. Okay. All right. So just to give you a little introduction to Sufism, because some of you are probably totally unfamiliar with Sufism. It's a mystical path. It's the path of the heart. It's the path of love. It's the path of intimacy and nearness with God, with Source. It's also a path of purifying and beautifying your heart so that you can receive all of the wonderful things that are being sent to you in each and every moment. So we're going to be working a lot with opening the heart, purifying the heart, and turning the heart towards God, Source, the oneness, so that we can receive all the gifts that are being given to us. So this is a little different path than some of the other pathways that you may be familiar with. And so I'd like to, maybe before we start the practice, I'd like to hear from some people about any questions thus far, any things you're wanting me to address today. I'm not sure how to unmute. Oh, here we go. Okay, so I'm unmuting everybody. And if anybody'd like to speak, feel free to.
Cindy?
Yes.
Hi, this is Peggy.
Hi, Peggy.
I'm just wondering, so the premise of the class is about spiritual healing for self and others. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And so through the practice of our own healing, that can then ripple out into other healing.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
The same process that you use on yourself is basically the one you're going to be using when you sit with others.
Okay, great.
And we'll be talking a lot about kind of the steps involved in that. So,
Awesome.
great. Thanks. Other comments, questions? Or anybody who just wants to say hello, you're welcome to.
Hi, this is Deb.
Hi, Deb.
Hi, I'm very excited for the class.
Good,
And,
good.
Yeah, and I'll just say that I was raised Lutheran, and I've pretty much rejected most of those tenets, and spent many years kind of wandering around studying other religions. And I think for what I need in my life, which is sort of the deprogramming, what I am finding is the mysticism of Sufism is really meeting a deep need within me. So as I kind of navigate that, it's kind of wonderful and scary, but I'll just say that. So I'm excited for this class.
Good, thanks. Thanks. Okay, anyone else?
Hi, Cindy, this is Jane.
Hi, Jane.
And I'm eager for the class too. I identify as Christian, Orthodox, and our liturgies are very old, and some of the same words are being used in Sufism that we use, but now I'm finally understanding my own, what some of the words, they get tired and lose their meaning, but now they're being revealed to me through this, and I'm very excited about it. I think this is fantastic.
Great, welcome. Yeah, and you bring up a point. So this is a spiritual path, which means you can be any religion or non-religion and use these practices, use these principles, use these healing techniques, just to kind of clarify that for people. And one of the reasons I decided to teach this is, I've been a therapist for a long time. And I really, for my own healing and working with others, have found this to be the most transformational path that I have been on, and really wanted to share this with people. Okay, so I'm going to mute everybody again because I'm going to talk about the practice we're going to participate in. Let's see, I have everybody muted. No, it doesn't look like it. Okay, I'm just going to go down and mute everybody. Okay, so the first practice we're going to learn and try, and some of you are familiar with this, but it's always a good little review, and we can go a little deeper, is the practice of remembrance. So this is a meditation, but it's a chanting meditation. It works with sound and vibration as a portal into your heart and into the direct experience of God. So it's a very special practice, and it's one of the foundational practices, and it helps you develop over time a very reliable, deep, consistent, vast connection with God, with Source, with Allah. And so what we're going to do is we're going to be chanting in your spiritual heart, which is the heart center in the center of the chest. So the whole center of the chest is where we're going to be focusing. And I'm going to lead you so you don't need to remember anything. And deep inside the heart, there are many layers in the heart. There's the surface layer of the heart, there's the next layer of the heart, and the deeper and deeper and deeper we go, the closer we get to our connection with God. So as we chant, we're going to be aware of our hearts and really feeling, listening, deepening into our hearts with each chanting that we do. And the word that we're going to be using is Allah. And Ah opens the heart, La brings the light in, and it translates to the one God. And so to start, just sometimes for people who are just beginning, it's a little uncomfortable to chant. So we're going to start by just taking a deep breath and just chanting Ah, and seeing how that feels vibrating in your heart and in your body. So inhaling Ah, and we'll do it 3 times. And just noticing how that feels, how it starts to vibrate in your chest and open the heart. And then we're going to just find a comfortable position, and you can all close your eyes, bringing your awareness now into the center of your chest, into your heart, into the heart center. Closing your eyes to the outer world and opening your eyes to the inner world, the subtle world. And letting your eyes, your mind, your breath all come down into your heart. So focusing as much of your awareness as you can into your heart center. And we're going to now chant together out loud, Allah, and I'll lead, and feel free to go. You're muted, so nobody will hear you. You can feel free to go at your own pace, your own rhythm. Just with each Allah, letting it take you deeper and deeper into your heart, into that special spot inside your deep heart that connects just you with the beloved, you with God, you with source energy. It's a very special practice, a very deep practice, and very personal. It's the place where we're moving into experiencing God directly, face to face, soul to soul, heart to heart. So when you're ready, we'll begin out loud, chanting Allah, and feel free to go into the silence. We'll probably be holding this for maybe 15, 20 minutes, just to let you know, because I want people to begin to deepen and have an experience. So again, just focusing on the heart center, dropping in. Allah, 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 and with each Allah, just softening, opening, letting the sound take you deeper and deeper into your heart, into that place of connection. Nothing to do, nothing to think about, just allowing the sound to take you. Allah, 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 And just softening, opening, allowing. If it hits anything where you feel tension or tightness, just letting your breath and the sound gently go there. And in the silence, just thinking the sound Allah on the breath. And continuing to open, travel, taste, experience, whatever it is that's being sent to you in this moment. Very nice. And then just gently taking your time, coming back, being very gentle as you come back. I'm going to unmute everybody so we can talk a little bit. So just be aware that you're all unmuted. And just now checking in with people about what did you experience? Any comments, questions, things that came up? Just say your name and then you can share.
This is Deb.
Okay, hi Deb.
Hi. And for me, you know, it takes me a while, the deepening to let go of the distractions and the thinking and the mental kind of stuff. And sometimes when I do this, I have been doing this practice, sometimes I go deeper more quickly, and other times it takes a while depending on what's kind of going on in the outer world.
Mm-hmm.
When I do, what I've noticed is there is a lightness or a my whole being feels like it's in a lighter place, and like it's a finer, more subtle place of being. And sometimes I will feel I'll have an understanding of something that I'm being given for healing right away, and other times I notice that I don't have that. But then later, later in the day or the next day or whenever, something will come to me that will be a shift, a bit of a shift for me. So that's kind of how it works for me.
Yeah, good. Thank you. One of the reasons we start with this practice is because it's very important to get your connection with God, with Source, because that's going to be very important in terms of the healing work that I'm going to be teaching. And so this is a foundational practice. It's something you can do every day, and every time you do it, you'll have a different experience. So what about from others? Comments, questions, experiences?
This is Ruth.
Okay. Hi, Ruth.
Hi. And I just feel settled, kind of really grounded, and feel like I'm breathing out of my heart. So that's how I'm experiencing it right now. Yeah,
great. Yeah, it's when people are in the remembrance, oftentimes the heart goes to peace or tranquility or contentment. Yeah. Anybody bump into anything that was maybe painful or maybe uncomfortable? Because that can happen too. Everything that's ever happened to us is stored in our hearts.
Yep.
Hi, this is Peggy. Oh, sorry.
Hi, Peggy.
Yeah, I just felt what it started out with was a little bit more resistance, and then I had just this profound feeling of like grief come up, and then just staying with it, then it just softened and it moved just into more love and acceptance, like without a judgment, which felt really nice.
Yes. And so what's happening when we're doing remembrance is, it's different for everybody, but what's happening is we're really beautifying and purifying the heart so that all that's going to be left in our hearts is the reflection of God. So anything that's there that's causing pain, worry, control, things we've learned, old habits, is going to start being dissolved and start being softened into the light of the One. So it's really a very beautiful, very deep, very opening process. Yeah, good. Other people who want to share?
Sure, this is Megan.
Hi, Megan.
It took me a while to kind of feel comfortable with the frequency of my chanting.
Yes.
But I did feel just kind of a spaciousness in my heart. And I did getting distracted as well, but the vibrations would bring me back to the feeling of the chanting.
Yes. And besides just the vibration, this word Allah, which is Arabic for the One, is also a portal. It's a portal you can travel in. And so, yeah, we'll bring you back. And that's kind of why we do it out loud, at least to start with. And later we do it silently. And then we kind of merge into the experience. Yeah. And it's, again, different at different times for different people. But sounds like you did well. Yeah, and if it's new practice for you, it takes a little while to get used to it, to be able to settle in and be comfortable. Yeah. And as we move into the healing work, you know, in Sufi Spiritual Healing, really Allah, God, Source, is the healer, is the doer, brings the healing. And so this connection becomes very important to allow, to expand into, to stabilize in your being, because this is where the healing is going to happen from. And so that's why we do this practice. And it's great if you can start building that into your life, even 10 minutes at a time, 20 minutes. Oftentimes people sit 40 minutes just because something really special happens when you pass the 20 minutes. You kind of are taken into a really deep, beautiful realm.
Cindy, can you say that again? Something really special happens when you go beyond the what?
The 20 minutes. About the 20-minute mark, things start to really change and deepen. And so sometimes it's nice if you have the time to do a longer practice. And we'll be doing, at least once, we'll be doing that in the class that I'm going to be teaching, because it's a really beautiful experience to do that, and to do that with others, you know, sitting with others. Other comments, questions, experiences? I'm especially interested if there are people who are brand new to this, what it was like.
Hey Cindy, this is Patty. It is new to me. I do get distracted, so I can see that it takes some time to just focus and try not to let my mind wander and get distracted.
Yeah, and it's okay if your mind is wandering. You just return to the heart. And I find the more of my senses I bring into my heart, like feeling it, breathing with it, sensing it, the more the less room my mind has to go all over the place. But it's fine if your mind wanders, just don't go along with it. You know, you just notice, okay, my mind's doing the thing my mind does. It's just a habit. That's the mind. That's what it does. And that's totally okay. And we don't try and fight with it or make it stop or anything like that. We just kind of notice and return, and notice and return. And if you tend to be kind of a feeler type person, the more feelings you can get in your heart, the easier it is to stay with it.
Okay.
But yeah, it is a practice that you cultivate over time, you know, and it takes a little while to get the hang of it.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyone else who wants to speak or ask a question, share an experience? Okay. Well, then I think I'll begin talking a little bit. I think I'll mute. Let's see. I think I muted everybody. Okay. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the healing work. So the heart has many different layers. And inside the heart is really where we're going to begin the healing from. So I think, actually, I think what I'll do is maybe ask somebody to be a demonstration. I'm gonna. All right. So, what is the issue that you'd like to maybe sit with today?
Well, the work that I've been doing.
And just to, if possible, because it's for demonstration, just a quick, this is the issue.
The issue is kind of the false beliefs about myself.
Okay, and is there one in particular?
That I'm not lovable.
Okay. Okay, so here's the beginning of the self-healing, okay? Is we have an issue, okay? And so we're all going to explore this together with Deb. And we're going to start, so we have the issue, which is a false belief that I'm not lovable. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to turn inside. You can close your eyes if you haven't. And we're going to locate where in your body you're holding that particular belief. And we're going to use the light of Allah, what we just did, to bring us to the place we need to begin. So we have the issue. Now we're going to close our eyes. We're going to ask for God's help in locating where this issue is being held. Allah, 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 Allah. And Deb, you just listen inside and see where you're taken to. Allah.
Yeah, it's in my heart area.
Okay, and what does it feel like in there?
It feels a little bit heavy and anxious.
Okay, good. Good. So then we're just going to hang out there, okay? So this is an energetic pattern of this issue. And it's pretty easy to find once you're open to looking. So, and we use the light of Allah to go there. So we're in that feeling, that pattern, that storage. The body stores everything that's ever happened to you, and your genetics and your lineage and, experiences you've had. And what they are is they're little veils or blocks that block you from being fully who you really are. The peace, the love, the mercy, and from being connected to God fully. So we sit with this place in your heart, and we use the light of Allah again. So we'll just sit there and you let us know what happens. And those of you who are muted, you can also just be using the light by saying Allah, 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 or just imagining the light. Allah, Allah, Allah. And what do you notice, Deb, as we hold that and sit with that?
I have a visual of light just gently wafting into my heart, the whole area of my torso. It's not coming in real fast and hard. It's just coming in. As my understanding of where Allah is, I realize that it's just like right around me, and that's that's what's coming into me. It's the allowing it to come in.
Yes, good. So the light.
I feel more supported.
Yes. And you might notice there's a little bit of resistance in there, you know, just a little bit of, I'm not sure, I don't know what to do, I don't know how much I want to let in.
Actually, I have a little bit of a tummy ache right now.
Okay, so that's fine. So we're just going to keep breathing and letting Allah bring in whatever is being sent to you. Allah, Allah, Allah.
Allah.
So we're using the light right now to open what we will call the stage. And on the stage is all the different feelings, sensations, experiences from childhood, from beyond childhood, from your lineage. And we're letting the light of the One, the light of God, wash and clean and return back to the peace, the mercy, the love, whatever is stored and held there. Allah, Allah, Allah. And so what are you noticing now?
There's still some resistance, but...
So let's look at that a little bit, if you're willing to do that.
Sure.
Sure, so we just look, where do you sense the resistance?
Well, there's fear associated and trust associated.
Yeah, that makes sense.
There's other things associated with this feeling of being unlovable, like it's not safe to be vulnerable and to open, and yet it's what I want to do. Yes.
So again, let's just sit there patiently, asking Allah, how do you want me to be with this feeling of not being safe, with this fear and trust issues? Allah, Allah. Allah, Allah. And what are you noticing now?
The set of light that's coming in is going up through the top of my head and also down through my feet.
Mm-hmm.
And
is there like a feeling with it?
My heart is feels like it's vibrating a little bit, and the sense is that healing, as much as I allow, is going, to the past, I suppose, to my ancestors, in my lineage. It feels like it's, perhaps that's where the healing needs to be directed, because it isn't just with me. That's the sense I'm getting, is that this feeling isn't just with me. It's been, within my lineage.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, so we don't know where it will go. And this is one of the principles of healing in this way, is we don't need to know. Once we're connected with the light and with the one and with God and with Allah, we allow God to do the healing. And you can feel, and I don't know if other people that are on the call, I'm going to unmute everybody again. I don't know if other people can feel the wave of peace and gentleness that's starting to come in. And so what are people noticing as we work with Deb? Because oftentimes when things shift for one person and we're working in a group, they shift for other people as well. So you're all unmuted. Anybody want to share what's happening?
I just feel like a sense of warmth was moving through me. This is Peggy, and then just a lighter feeling after that.
Yeah, good.
This is Patty. I'm feeling a sense of calm.
Yes. Yes. So you can start to feel the holding environment, the way in which God works with you, which is in the gentleness, in the mercy, in the peace, in the love, in the trust. Yeah, so if you keep opening to that, you can feel some of the qualities coming in now. And some of you might want to close your eyes to sense, to feel. Because we're all part of the same one being. And when it comes in for one of us, it comes in for all. In different ways, different issues. So an experience is being sent that both dissolves the resistance, dissolves some of the pain of the past, and replaces it with the divine qualities. Replaces it or opens it in a way that you begin to embody and really feel some of the safety, some of the trust, some of the mercy and the holding that's here for you. And if we continue to follow this, it will open up into both a quality and possibly a teaching that's there for Deb that is behind this issue that she's been seeing. So in Sufi healing, everything that happens, everything that's in front of you is from you. Okay? It's something that you're being called to look at, to work with, to understand, to open, to wash, to clean, to return back to the truth, the reality, back to the real. Because so many times we have misunderstandings from the past that we're still carrying and still operating out of. So Deb, are you still, you're still on? How
Yes.
are you doing?
I feel more peaceful, and my whole body is kind of vibrating very gently.
Yeah, good. So it continues to keep, coming in exactly at the right pace, the right rhythm, the right way for you and your particular. We're all being worked with differently in exact relationship with our level of development, our particulars, what our lessons are, what our teachings are. So, okay, so it's continuing to open. So people might notice now, if you can follow me here, there's a quality, and we'll talk right after this, we'll talk about the qualities and the divine names. Some of you are familiar, some of you are not. There's a quality that's coming in for Deb and probably for the whole group that has to do with trust and faith. And so we're just going to open as best as you can to receiving that. Allah, 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 Ya Allah, Ya Wakil. And hopefully what's going to happen with this, it gives her a little different place to stand in, to be with, inside her being. Allah. So what are people noticing? If some of you would be brave and be willing to speak. You're all unmuted.
This is Ruth.
Hi, Ruth.
Hi. And I have been focusing on my heart valve and just noticing and seeing it there. And I don't have any feelings other than that focus. And I'm just real at peace with it and just kind of watching. So that's my experience.
Yeah, good, good. Yes, and sometimes in the healings there are physical things being worked on. Yeah, and then you can just allow, receive, just breathe with it. Is there any place in there, Ruth, that doesn't feel peaceful?
Not that I can notice. I'm really settled in. It's almost as if all my experience is in my heart right now. So,
yes.
And there's no tightness or resistance that I can notice.
Good, good. Okay, thank you. Anyone else with what you're noticing or your experience or questions you have? Okay, well, we'll go back to Deb. You still there?
I am.
Okay, what's happening for you?
I feel like I'm receiving. I can definitely feel the energy that is coming
Good.
into, and so I feel like I'm in a receiving mode and kind of a higher vibration.
So I'm gonna mute everybody again, except Deb. Are you unmuted?
Pardon me?
Oh, okay, we're good. So I muted everybody but Deb again. So let's look, because the name of this seminar today was What Our Problems Are Here to Teach Us. So let's see if we can go a little further. So we started with the issue. We found the location in the body. We open to God's light coming in to be with that, to open it, to wash it, to clean it, which we're going to learn a little more about, some other tools and ways to be with the cleaning in the future. But let's see now if we can get some understanding of what the teaching is. Okay, so we're just going to turn to God. We're going to use the chanting of Allah, and we're going to soften, open, let our hearts look up to the light of Allah, up to the light of the oneness, the white light, letting our hearts turn, open, Allah, Allah, Allah. And we're just going to ask very politely, my beloved God, what is the teaching that you have for me here in this place? What is the thing you're trying to help me with in walking through this misunderstanding? So we'll all chant together here, Allah, 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 Allah. And then just softening, opening. Allah. Ya Allah, Ya Ali. And Deb, you let us know when you're getting something or you have a sense or an impression.
That it's not true.
Yes, good. So keep, yes.
And that the image of a gateway, that self-love is the gateway to everything else, to all the other qualities.
Yeah.
For me, anyway.
Yes. And can you feel the way in which God is like inviting you, bringing you?
Yes, in a way that allows me to view it and take it in and consider it without feeling a lot of fear, which I have to say I do have, or have had. So it seems to have, the process seems to have included some, neutralizing the fear so that I can receive the other, more positive qualities.
Yes.
I think for me, that is how my resistance presents itself in such a way that if I am thinking a thought and I hold that thought that's not true, then that has to be worked with first so that I can receive the qualities, because the thought is really the resistance or the block. So it's really the beliefs, and I realize that much of what I believe is just unconscious or just has been with me for.
That's right. They're just habits, patterns, practiced ways of thinking or being. And you'll notice how gently and beautifully God works with you. Perfectly in tune to what the dilemmas are. And this is why in the spiritual healing, we are allowing, following, watching where God brings you. We're not the doers. Allah, God, is the doer. And we're just following, consenting, opening to everything that's being sent in every moment. Because we are all being worked with all the time, and we are the ones in the way. We are the ones who stop, block, don't trust, whatever. And so we're asked to turn, be with, open to what's needed in those places so that we can really receive. So no shame, no blame here, just returning so that you can receive the real message, the real teaching, the real source into your being. And then you have a new place to stand, to be in. Great. Well, thank you for being our demonstration today.
Sure.
Anybody else have something to say, either to Deb or about your own experience, or questions, comments?
Well, this is Ruth again, and my words are, I am acceptable in that heart valve. So that's what turned out for me.
Yes. And how does that feel when you say it?
I have a hard time with distinguishing the feelings of it. It's all I can say is it feels right.
Yeah.
I don't have very many words for.
Yeah.
Because I don't have a feeling of it per se. Anyway, that's as much as I can do.
Okay, great.
This is Jane.
And
I want to thank Deb for doing this, because it really, first of all, it was such a wonderful teaching for us, but rising water does float all boats. And I felt that it was a group experience. So thank you, Deb. We all benefited.
Yes, it's true. When we all work together, because we are all connected, there really is no you, no me on the highest level. On the highest level, there is one being, and we're all a part of it, and we're all moving with it. And it's true. We're all kind of in this together. It doesn't really matter whose deal it is, you know. Yeah, and that's something that, you know, we'll experience over and over and over in working as a group in this class, is when the healing comes in for one person, it often comes in for everybody. Yeah. Other questions, comments, anything anybody wanted to share with Deb?
This is Megan.
Hi, Megan.
I just wanted to thank Deb for being vulnerable.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Well, and I'll just say this, that I've dealt with depression off and on, and you know, that's kind of one of the things too that I hope to clean. And you know, I was talking with Cindy about this yesterday, that I have a great amount of resistance to me thinking, and I think a lot of humans do this. They think that thinking about something is a form of control if I analyze. And so it's, for me, I find it even more challenging than maybe it is for someone who can easily give over the control, because I don't do that very easily. I never have. So what I find as I go into meditation is the layers that brought me, and I did a practice, you know, I'll make it short, but what came to me was the word surrender. And I thought, oh crap, but that's really what it is for me, those layers that I need to sort of let go of in the process, and so that I can surrender the healing. So, yeah, it's been quite a journey already.
Yeah, thanks. Anyone else who'd like to say something or ask a question? Okay, so we went through a process. I'm going to mute everybody so I can just talk. We went through a process of healing, which started with first identifying the issue, and then we used the light of the One to direct us to where this was being held, either in the body or in consciousness or both. And then we used the light to open it, to see what was inside it, to be with some of the emotions, stories, feelings that are held in the body, in the tissue, in the cells. And then we used again the light to clean, to open, and then to receive, at least in part today, what some of the teaching was for Deb. Now, this is a kind of a beginning model of doing spiritual healing. There are many aspects of this, and if you decide to take the class, which I'm hoping you will do, we will go into several different more specific things. One is how to know what brings you into connection and what takes you out of connection, and then how to return when the world has caught you, or feelings or experiences have caught you and you've lost connection or moved off of your connection, because there are choice points all the time. Then I'm going to also teach a practice of cleaning and purifying, dissolving the resistance. We all have resistance. It's not a bad word. It comes from our life experience. And so we're going to learn a process of how to dissolve the resistance. We're also going to look at how everything that happens in our life is a mirror, okay? Everything that's in front of you is from you and for you. And what that means is that all these things that are happening are here to help teach you, to help walk you closer and closer to God, and more into the joy, the happiness, and the peace and the contentment, moving more into the real. Okay, we're also going to look at the voices, like who are you listening to inside? Are you listening to yourself? Are you listening to others? Are you listening to the darkness? Or are you listening to God? Because if we go in for guidance, we want to know that we're listening in the highest way possible. And then the other thing we're going to work with some is the qualities, the divine names. And this healing process is also called healing with the beautiful names of the One. So there are 99 names, and we won't be using all of them. And I'd like to, in the last 10 minutes we have today, do some work with one of the divine names. So the one I'd like to work with today is called Wakil. And Wakil is the trust, the deep trust in God. And so what I'd like to do is we'll chant this name together, we'll have an experience, and then I will read for you a little bit about Wakil. Okay, so Wakil is the trust, the deep trust. And it's really important, especially in these challenging times that we're having now in the world, to really be able to find the place in you where you can be in the deep trust. So what we do when we chant these names is we're going up as high as we can go into the light, into the subtle world, looking for the place where these qualities originate from. Okay, and we'll be talking more about this, so if you don't quite get it, we'll be talking more about it on another day. And we're going to say, Ya Allah, Ya Wakil. And we're going to say that, we're just going to say both of those 11 times. Then we're going to open to the downpouring of the Wakil, and just have whatever experience you have. Open to it and just be with it. And then we'll talk about it when we, after we sit with that for a little bit. So we're going to go 11 times. Ya Allah. We're going to the oneness. Ya Wakil. Please send the trust. Please send the protection. Please send your divine, perfect quality of trust. Okay? So you can just close your eyes. Ya Allah, Ya Wakil. 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 And then opening, receiving like a downpouring of rain. Letting the wakil come in, move in you. Absorbing it, merging with it. So just continuing to let that come in, I'm going to read you a little bit about the wakil. This name opens a space in the heart that never leaves because this is the place of certainty and silence. Ya wakil, you who take care of me, my protector, you are the one to whom I leave all my concerns. You are the one to whom I entrust everything. You are the one in whom I trust absolutely. So just letting this name come in, surround you, fill you. Al-Wakil transforms worries, sorrows. It opens a space that enables us to find solutions and thus rest from tiring, ceaseless thinking. Al-Wakil means to abandon ourselves without hesitation to the divine, knowing in our hearts that God is trustworthy and that God is the one who knows best. Al-Wakil is to consciously invoke the help of the divine, trusting, knowing that as soon as you ask, it's already here. So just continuing to open to the experience of Ya Wakil, Ya Wakil, Ya Wakil. Okay, so I'm unmuting everybody. Anybody want to share anything about what happened with Wakil or any other question or comment you might have today? A quiet group, okay. Well, I just wanted to let you know, so this was the first, the webinar in the class that I'm going to be teaching, which is 5 parts, the next 5 Thursdays at the same time. It will be recorded, so if you can't make it live, you can listen to the recording afterwards. We're going to be moving into the healing work, how to do self-healing. And as a practice, when we get started, I'm going to be asking people to kind of pick out an issue or a something every day and working with it and building your confidence and self-healing and eventually other healing. So I hope you'll join me. In order to sign up, I think, Warda, are you still on?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, so how do they sign up now for the class? Will there be an email message?
Yeah, we're going to send out an email with all the information later on today.
Okay, great. And I hope you'll join me, and I hope you'll learn some new practices and enrich your relationship with God and your walking closer. And thanks for joining me. Anything else anybody would like to say today or ask?
Thank you, Cindy.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you, Cindy. Yes.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Cindy.
You're welcome. Pleasure to be with everybody.
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Have a good day, everyone.
Bye.
You
Thanks.
too.